Kyle asked if he should come. I told him, I said, it's entirely up to you, but I said, I think it'd be a total waste of your time.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It'll be fun.
And Rich, just as an FYI for the FY26 budget, I am going
All right.
Yes, you are now Madam Chair.
I am now, Madam, I'm the chair for the evening. Okay, so, good evening, welcome to the May 1st, 2025 Brookfield Select Board meeting. All rise and say the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, announcements. A reminder, the annual town elections will be held on Monday, May 5th, 2025, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Brookfield Town Hall. All right, our agenda today, we will be passing over the joint meeting with advisory and budget discussion as we completed those.
Actually, we just had, well, there's a couple things.
Okay.
One, I just wanted to confirm the number that the select board would, I guess it has kind of coalesced around with regards to the fire department fire wages. We were talking about the 73,992, but then we were also talking about the 77.
Seven.
Yes, so I just wanted to get a feel for which one should we put into the book for now.
I was going to say 73,992, and with the understanding that we're probably going to run over if we trend like we did this year.
Okay.
I was good with the 77. I would just as soon give it to them now if you're all right with that, but I thought it made sense to do that.
I am not energized either way on that particular
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
so 77's fine. So do you want to make that as a motion?
I'll make a motion that we go with the 77,000
Okay,
number.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
That's what I will enter into the budget book. And also the COLA, we were talking about the 2.5, the 2. Do we want to wait until after the election to, I guess, firm
me-
that up?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that.
Okay, so.
Because
that
we know
was-
what the vote would be. We'd have a hung jury tonight.
That's exactly what I was
So,
thinking.
so I
Not
take
only
the
that, I
time.
want to remind you what you said. You said you want to stay in keeping with the advisory.
I do,
board,
even
so,
even though I
yeah.
don't necessarily
I know you don't
concur.
agree with it, right? But,
Right,
yeah.
exactly. I am not going to necessarily,
Yeah, nothing's going to happen. There's no sense wrestling tonight.
right. Yeah.
It may be of entertainment value, but that's it, so.
I had enough entertainment today already. I don't need to add to it here.
Yeah, any day in Hartford is entertaining, commute to and from. We did actually have some late-breaking news from Conservation. I don't know, Steve, if you want to.
Well, this is just a personal opinion, but I know in your last meeting you were discussing, and I know it was also tenuous about possibly trying to find $9,000 to cut with the COLA, but regardless of that, if you're looking to cut money, I feel like the conservation number, in my opinion, is a bit high because we're asking for 2 different increases. One for training, which I think is incredibly valuable because on our commission, nobody has the basic certification yet. The other aspect of it, though, is access to a conservation agent. But through Mass DEP, we do have access to resources. We have people there that we can reach out to. So it's my opinion, and this perhaps can just be put forth at the annual town meeting. But I feel like if we are looking for money to cut, I think that $2,500 that we were requesting for that particular item for access to an agent is something that we would consider cutting.
Is there a conservation committee meeting between now and whenever?
We have an emergency, not emergency one, but a high priority one on the 14th, and then another one on the 21st.
Could you ask the chair to add that to your agenda? And because it's a lot better if, and you're one member of the committee, and I get what you're saying is that you think there's some room there, right?
Yeah, it's a personal opinion. At this point.
It's a personal opinion at this point. Could you take it back to the committee and see if they're similarly, if they're willing to basically say, yeah, you know what, this year training is enough, and plus those DEP resources, and see how that works out? And then if we need to move to an agent model?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good to me.
yeah, that'd be cool. So, so that would be, I mean, unfortunately, all it does is mitigate half of the 4,000 that we added for fire, but it at least
Yeah.
helps
no,
us dig the hole a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, Steve and I had a discussion about it before you come in, and it was, I think it's a viable option.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good. Thank you.
And that's it. That's all I had for the budget stuff.
okay, great. So, And then highway worker wage discussion.
Yes, you'll see in your quote-unquote packet that you have, we have 2 positions that Highway Superintendent Rakowski would like to have the board set, or is kind of acting as personnel, excuse me, as the personnel board. That is for the part-time laborer or operator, which is a position that Bruce Clark is currently in the position of, and the other is a seasonal worker, and he does have some a candidate in mind in which to perform that. A candidate who is
Experienced and
skilled,
trained.
experienced,
Yep.
certified, thus the higher amount. So the
Right, and also has licenses.
and that's,
In
that's
a
key.
pinch, has the licenses to do the work of a full-time employee. so.
Absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely.
And
So.
speaking with Kyle today, I asked, my only question I had for him was if he had the money in the budget. He said he absolutely does. So I will make a motion to set Bruce Clark's part-time wage at $35 an hour and Ben Doros' part-time wage at $28 an hour.
One thing I do want to make sure we put is Bruce down as, do we want him as a part-time or as a seasonal?
I thought it was part-time that Kyle specifically requested because the seasonal, well, I guess
Well, 'cause
it
he's-
could be either way.
Well, and the reason why I ask is because Bruce is limited to 900 hours no matter what, because he's a retired Worcester
Yeah,
County
Bruce is
employee.
not gonna, he said he's not gonna give that much. You know,
Well,
he's-
I understand
but-
that. I'm just saying, and I think, I don't know that we need to define it because of the fact that he is limited to the point where he would have to functionally be part-time anyway, so.
Yeah, I think the one reason maybe to lean towards part-time is, just from talking to Kyle, there's different jobs that he's going to hopefully be able to utilize him for, and it might fall outside of the
Seasonal
the
definition.
Standard seasonal definition, your
Okay.
classic lawnmowers, if you will.
Right.
So I think that's why we're leaning more towards the part-time.
Okay, that makes sense to me, so. You made the motion already?
I did.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and then the last thing on the agenda is items not reasonably anticipated by the chair. I was not informed of any items that I did not reasonably anticipate, so can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, let me tell you, things go a lot smoother without that Kudelski character.
Okay.
What are you gonna do with this nameplate?
We're going to retire it, we're going to get a wall of shame.
No, I keep it on file because people tend to recycle.
That's true. Yeah. I'm sure he'll end up on some other boards. I was going to do my my college vest and slide it under Karen's door.
He's one of the, 13 people that do everything in town.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, whether he realizes it or not, he will be serving on other committees.